be feeling unsafe in our motherland.
Young kids just died. For who?
Can I tell her she's safe? Do I have to tell her she can't trust the police? It's two-tier policing.
He's an old man. What are you doing?
What you've got coming out now is a working class man.
People are just fed up. There's nothing we can do.
Tonight, I'll be joining the protests at Downing Street in response to the murders of 3 children in Southport. While I don't agree with the riots that occurred after, it's clear that the public are angry and had enough.
So yeah, I'm having a look at this video from Wesley Winters, who's doing some really good content out in England. He's sort of asking people what's going on rather than making assumptions, which I quite appreciate, and especially since I'm not in England right now. So getting a chance to see what's going on from a neutral standpoint has been quite helpful for me. This is a bit of an experiment. I haven't ever done something like this. It's taken me days to get this sorted. But I'm just going to check the sound is coming through. Everything's cool.
I'm just going to check the sound is coming through.
Okay, looks good.
Cool.
So let's have a look a bit of this.
I'm making this video as I was at Trafalgar Square the other day and people told me that they were scared for their children.
We're just thinking of the safety of my children, my grandchildren.
And mothers and fathers that are concerned for the children and their future generations.
And ultimately it's all about protecting the welfare of our children.
I didn't fully grasp what they meant until the next morning when I read the news of a man murdering 3 children. The mainstream media have been spreading lies, calling these grieving people part of the EDL. The EDL doesn't even exist anymore. So tonight we're going to humanise these people and get a real understanding to why they're here.
So yeah, like I say, his perspective is trying to be neutral and try to see what's really going on. What I have observed is, growing up in England, there's obviously a lot of tension between cultures. And even at that time, you know, there was always disagreements. I mean, actually, one of the reasons I left, honestly, was kind of seeing that divide. Although, in hindsight, that's a little naive because it's not like it's not global, you know. But I myself, although I sound English, my parents are Irish, right? And growing up, I experienced a bit of stuff about that, but not much, because externally, people don't really think about that. But I certainly had friends who were children of immigrants from Pakistan and other parts of the world. And yeah, seeing the responses they received in the street was quite eye-opening. I remember going out with a mate of mine who's same situation as me, born in England, grew up in England. His parents were from another country. He just happened to be of Pakistani descent, and the kind of racism he would receive was quite shocking. Oi, what you doing here? Go home. All this sort of thing. Stuff that I wasn't exposed to, even though my situation was kind of pretty much similar, honestly.
Go. Well guys, I'm just on my way to Downing Street and just in front of me I see a huge cordoned off line of police officers. It seems like the protest is already here. So yeah, I feel like a big turnout is going to come today.
So what I've observed from this situation, and I'm no expert, I'm just merely a man watching what's going on, is that the whole of humanity right now is getting squeezed, right? I don't know anyone who's not affected by cost of living, and that's in England, that's in the United States, it's also in Costa Rica here. And of course it's the old game, well, it's that guy's fault, right? It's this dude over here, oh, it's them that came from another country. So, you know, there's a lot of blame games going on, whereas the actual reality of the situation is everyone is getting crushed by cost of living. I mean, what I've observed is, for example, in England, utility bills have doubled, tripled, quadrupled, all based on, what was it? It was based on COVID, and it was based on the war in Russia. Now, what's interesting about that is the companies saying, well, look, we've had to put the prices up, right? Because everything is more expensive for us. Meanwhile, a year later, the same companies are posting record profits. Let's have a look. Actually have a look. British Gas record. Wow, I've got to love my typing. So, British Gas made record high profits of almost £1 billion. And oh yeah, look at that. British Gas profits. No, thank you. British Gas profits leap from 72 million to 751 million in a year profits, right? But they're saying it's cause it's costing them more. Something doesn't add up. So the point there is that whilst, you know, you've got everyone blaming everyone else. Oh, it's the immigrants. It's this. It's that. Look at that. Anyone notice this? So yeah. But the reaction on the streets, right, is that it's the fault of all the people coming to England, and it's all the immigration and so on and so forth. And hey, I'm not denying that has an impact. It definitely does. I mean, funny enough, what I've been hearing in my life actually is a similar story, but funny enough, from the flip side, a lot of people I know in Costa Rica are very angry actually about the amount of immigration happening. But whereas in England, it's that immigrants are coming, they're taking our jobs, they're getting free housing, they're unemployed, but also taking our jobs. Well, I mean, there's more than one person, so that's possible, but also a bit counterintuitive. Whereas here in Costa Rica, actually, the theme is people are coming with money, they're buying our land, they're making everything cost more, they're putting up the price of rent, all of which is true, and it's also not exclusively the source of the issue.
I think around hundreds and hundreds of people come to share their voice. Let's go. Yeah, a lot of police here, as you can see. Line of officers must be at least 20. Jesus Christ, what's going on? Yeah. So yeah, looks like.
Let's see what these guys have to say about the story.
Robinson. Wow.
Okay, so that's an interesting point. One of the sort of main instigators over there is this chap called Tommy Robinson, who's been talking a lot about some of the issues that are alleged to be caused by immigrants. I don't know how much of that story is true or false. I'm not there. I certainly speak to friends of mine who say there's basis for those claims. But to give you some background, it's stories about crime, stories about pretty serious things, actually. I feel worried to say about it, but yeah, it's certainly stirring things. And this guy they're chanting about is kind of leading the charge on those kind of conversations.
So can you explain to me why are you here today?
Just to make a stand for all these sick governments that are running the country at the minute. They're letting kids getting stabbed. They're letting people over on boats. Don't get me wrong, I ain't one of these people that says don't let them over, because some of them, if it weren't for some immigrants, we wouldn't have this country.
But what is this narrative that migrants are the ones causing all this trouble? Murders happen everywhere, but all sorts of people.
We're happening with everyone, but the frequent amount of them is with these sort of people that are coming over. They live in countries where it's acceptable to rape girls and treat girls like shit, and kids for that matter. And they're coming over to here, they're trashing our country and they're treating it like their own, do you know what I mean?
Is this a response to the Southport incident that happened the other night?
Technically, yeah. To be honest, I didn't know it was happening until yesterday, so we're down here for work. We'll come and make a stand. Power to the people.
There's 4 officers arresting someone.
Leave him. Leave him.
So yeah, that fella there was talking to some of the points that I was raising, and like I say, I don't know what's true and what's not true, but this is the basis for why people are reacting this way, according to them.
Seen so far in Leeds and in Southport, I can't imagine the police actually handle this crowd.
Fucking pricks.
Well, skip that bit. Oh no, I forgot I've got adverts on. I had to cancel my premium.
But man, look how many officers there are. Must be at least 20 to 50 just on this street alone. I think they're going to need hundreds to handle this lot. I mean, look, you can't even see past the crowd. I've already seen 1 arrest, but wow, guys with the baddies. Wow, someone been arrested again. Second person I've seen now.
Whole system is fucked up. That need to be changed.
All right, so we saw the murders that happened in Southport. Is this?
So I'm actually going to try and pull up the other video. This one, which I was watching the other day, and look, it's already got 1.2 million views on it.
God knows. Oh yeah.
So this was, I'm trying to remember where it was, Middlesbrough, England. So
I don't know what's happening. People are just running. Whoa! Fuck.
Yeah, obviously a lot going on. You can see bricks being thrown and stuff. What's interesting about this is, like, obviously it's the story is that it's to help England, right? That's the story. However, in one of these clips here, yeah, look at this. Check this out.
Guys, I drove up here. Just to give you context, this is about 5 hours away from London, and my car's literally parked about 10 minutes down the road from here. I don't know if it's even safe.
So yeah, it's hard to sort of justify that behaviour as helping save England, isn't it? And so many times it's actually the case is, like, whatever the basis for an actual valid protest or for, like, you know, anger at government, right? Then, I mean, look, I don't think these kids care that much about what's going on, really. They're just having a day out with the lads. Oh, smash some cars, it was wicked, yeah. Nice one, mate. It doesn't really help the story, does it? And this is also why there's been huge counter-protests, because a lot of the counter-protests have basically been like, look, this is a bunch of right-wing fascists and thugs, and they're just racists, basically. Which I'd say an element of that's true, and there's also just an element of normal people feeling like they can't survive and looking for reasons why. Let's have a listen to this chap. This fella is a local there. And let's see what he says.
I don't, mate.
What do you think of all this? I've just been seeing cars getting smashed and all sorts.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really is.
What's your reason for not joining in with them?
Because I'm not a fucking arsehole like them.
Yeah.
I mean, just to voice my opinion, I'm not happy about it. I'm disgruntled and that's it.
Yeah.
Make the twat yourself ain't helping matters none, is it?
Yeah. I mean, do you think this should be done maybe protesting in a local government, outside a local government office?
Well,
or
that's where they have been. They've already smashed the council offices up in the town and the courts.
So this is part of the problem as well, as you know, it's not like other approaches haven't been sort of tried, right? So people have been talking about the issues that I don't know if working class is the correct political term nowadays, but yeah, let's just say average people are facing, and that's cost of living, huge energy bills, rise in rent, all these kind of things. And what I have heard, and again, I don't know, what the truth is there's a large amount of people coming from overseas to England, and England is already not really doing too well. Sort of the worst it's been. I think 1 in 3 or 4 people are living in poverty, according to the official statistics.
Yeah, good enough for them. Yeah. No sympathy for the government.
So yeah, no sympathy for the government, followed by this guy basically say get everyone who's not English out of Britain. Let's watch that bit again.
Seeing cars getting smashed and all sorts.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really is.
What's your reason for not joining in with them?
Because I'm not a fucking arsehole like them.
Yeah.
I'm here just to voice my opinion. I'm not happy about it. I'm disgruntled and that's it.
Yeah.
Make the twat yourself ain't helping matters none, is it?
Yeah. I mean, do you think this should be done, maybe protesting in a local government, outside a local government office?
Well,
or
that's where they have been. They've already smashed the council offices up in the town and the courts.
Yeah.
Good enough for them. Yeah. No sympathy for the government.
It's off the streets. Simple. That's that, Chrissy lad.
So yeah, that's what you're facing. The duality of it, right, is that you've got this one fella who's just trying to be reasonable and like, look, we need the government to take some action because this is out of control and unsustainable. And then you've got this young lad just being straight up racist. So I think that's also part of the problem. Is like any validity that's given from people actually speaking to what's happening and being like, look, this needs fixing and please sort this out and help us, is then kind of just cut by this blatant racism, isn't it? Yeah, tricky, because I think there's understandable concern, but when it's just wrapped in just mindless racism, it really discredits the whole thing. And I think across the board you can look at that with all protests. I mean, I've been in peaceful protests before in Bristol. I used to live in Bristol, right, where some of these big counter protests are happening. I think it was about the Iraq war, actually, funnily enough. So it was just to sit down in the street, very peaceful, bunch of hippies, frankly. And people are playing some instruments or whatever. Cops came along, just started shoving them over and pushing them. And, of course, people reacted. Then the story goes, X amount of people protested in riots. Wasn't really the case, though. It was just people, like, very validly protesting against what was an unjust invasion. It turns out that everything they said about why it was invaded turned out to be not true. So this is a problem with it, isn't it? There's valid complaints, and then it escalates into this like violence and mindless riots, and then it just discredits any validity. And I know people who are really angry about what's going on, because obviously there's no arguing with it. There's actual full power racism within this whole thing, and that's why there's been these huge counter protests, right? Because England is a very diverse, multicultural place, and everyone's got friends from everywhere, and that in itself is a sort of incendiary statement. Because, like, look, I said I have Irish parents. Where am I from? Am I English? Am I Irish? Am I European? I don't even, like, what can you even say? And I think a lot of people are in that situation. So to then kind of divide people based on that and direct anger at it is problematic.
It's not safe. They're smashing normal people's windows in the house. Tell me if any trouble happens, yeah? Just call me straight away. It's crazy. A window that's been smashed.
I don't agree with all the violence and everything.
That's all I've seen. Yeah, that's all I've seen.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
what is the message though when local
people are frustrated and angry because they're just letting them in for willy-nilly and they're raping our kids?
But I know that we all feel.
We just want our town back.
We all feel sad about it, but it's smashing windows the answer.
We should be joining together with the Muslims because it's got nothing to do with race. We're not racist.
Yeah.
We should be sticking together and stop the boats coming in.
But do you think people just come here for a punch-up and just smash things up?
Yeah. It's the young'uns, it's the kids and stuff like this, which I don't condone.
But then what is it? Isn't it the responsibility of the elders to put them in check and just say, look, what you're doing?
But at the end of the day, they'll turn on us as well, so you can't really tell them. We've told the young'uns, little kids putting windows in and stuff, have told them. But like I said, the police have started all this. It was peaceful till they started.
I've only just got...
So here's a question as well, is like, why are people so angry, right? Well, as far as I can tell, England's in a very challenging state, right? There's stuff like the National Health Service is they're talking about privatising. I don't know how far along they are. They've privatised all the railways. Like, oh my god, when I was there last, it was like what, £100 to get on the train just to go from the airport to the Midlands. I mean, it's sort of all out of reach. And then at the same time, well, look, we haven't got any money for you. Sorry, we can't help you. We're over our budget. They're giving millions and billions to people to drop bombs. So something doesn't add up again, you know. And there's all kinds of mad stuff. Like, you know, the government get their champagne expenses. Meanwhile, like, you know, there isn't enough money for road repairs and stuff. I mean, come on, guys.
Hour ago, what has it been like earlier today?
It's very peaceful, very...
Newcastle. Why have you come to Middlesbrough though then?
Because I want to support the Ben that got stabbed.
Yeah.
Ben, that means child. Translation.
Yeah. A lot of people said they're here for the children, or some have, but
both.
But some people clearly come to cause trouble, no?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like bored lads, isn't it? It's like, what are you doing? Ah, yeah, I'm going to go and smash up some stuff. It'll be fun. I mean, actually, so my background in England is I worked with young offenders and people at risk of offending, and predominantly young guys who'd been excluded from mainstream education. Now, a lot of those guys grew up in care. They didn't have homes. They were basically in the education system seen as a waste of time, right? They weren't academic. They're not going to be lawyers. They're not going to be doctors. Like, all these guys, very capable people, you know, mechanics, plumbers, all the stuff that actually England has a huge shortage of. But the overarching viewpoint of those kind of things is they are not valuable to society. Certainly when I grew up in education, anything sort of vocational was sort of frowned upon as like, oh, well, that's not something to aspire to. You should become like a lawyer or doctor or accountant or something. So, you know, these guys are grown up in predominantly white areas without much employment, without much hope, without that many role models, positive role models. Like, certainly exactly what I'm talking about. The people I was working with literally don't even have parents, right? So they've grown up in an environment where they just don't have role models, positive role models, and the role models they see are kind of criminals, right? Who's the most respected person in the area? Oh, well, it's this guy because he's a hard lad and he robbed this place and he did that. So it's like, what do you expect? So with that, the job I was doing was in the category of crime prevention. Okay. It was kind of like alternative education. In my mind, it was primarily sort of to... Well, from my perspective, I think the benefits of it were that it gave some of these guys an opportunity to see their own potential. You know, we would produce tracks and DJ, we'd do rapping workshops, stuff like that, art, music, video. And so certainly, you know, you'd work with somebody and they're sort of got a big attitude, then you make some drum and bass with them, whatever, and just actually really stoked about what they've done and really like, oh wow, I've achieved something, and show it to my mates, and suddenly it's like, yeah, I can do something positive. So anyway, bit of a tangent there, but that's what I observed with a lot of people from these kind of areas. It's like, sure, you can call them racist and you can call them this and you could call them that, but why? Like, why is it they have this attitude? And I think, like, whether I think this is right or wrong, or who's this or who's that, like, looking at the core base root of the issues is really the only way to solve the problem, isn't it? You know what I mean? All right, let's see what else Wesley has to say. Okay, all right, let's check this guy out. Oh my
Delivery robots in a screw.
Sorry. If people watch my stream, I'll get YouTube Premium.
It's not what it fucking is. It's a load of bullshit.
Are you local?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you think the message has changed now? Before I've been to 2 protests so far, and before it was meant to be about the 3 girls that were murdered, and now the narrative is changing.
This has been coming for about 40 years.
Yeah.
Now it's hitting, and it's going to get worse.
So why do you think this fella's saying this has been coming for 40 years? I mean, it's a valid question, isn't it? Tell me what you think.
What is the message now? Why do you think people are here today? Is it just to cause trouble? Is there any message behind the violence?
There's 90% of people here probably just to do a general protest. The rest are just a few yobs.
Yeah.
You're always going to get it.
Do you think it's the locals' responsibility rather than the police to kind of like put them in check and just say what you're doing, or
bring back the old laws? Take our country back.
The scene.
So take our country back. This is a prominent sort of a statement here.
Yeah, I feel like you need more than the police here. Maybe they might bring the army in or something.
People are saying it's racist. It's obviously not racist. You're not British, are you?
I'm from here, but
yeah, but you're not British.
Bit racist. It's not racist. You're not British. Okay, mate.
So it's not racist.
Yeah, I got a British passport. But...
Yeah, no, but you're not like I've got family who Pakistani.
Yeah.
Like this isn't about that.
Yeah.
For the biggest majority of us, it's not about it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. The only violence I've seen today is from the police and from different cultures.
Someone's not paying attention, are they, mate?
And instigate violence.
Yeah. I've read about Middlesbrough and the crime rate that goes on. Do you think there's an issue here with knife crime as well, or? There's an issue with knife crime here. There's an issue with gun crime here. It's the biggest crime here is Cleveland police. Yeah. They're not trusted. With him, I've been arrested for nothing. My dad's disabled. He's been battered off him. He's been arrested. He's got one arm. He said he assaulted him. He's got one arm. How the fuck can a one-armed man assault a police officer? Yeah. It's just Cleveland police. That's all I've got to say. Yeah. Cool. Cheers, mate. Thanks. Enjoy your day, mate. All right. You too. Wow. The roads are completely blocked. These cars can't move. I guess they're protecting it.
So yeah, this is kind of a bit of a problem with the logic of the whole story, right? We're not racist, but
crazy. This is probably the first and last time I'm going to come here, because this is not safe at all. I don't even know what I'm doing here now.
Yeah, but the vandalism, nah. It shouldn't be right. They shouldn't be smashing up.
Are you local? Have you come to actually join the protest today, or are you just kind of a bystander?
Bystander.
Yeah.
But the way they go on, standing up for the rights, if they don't stand up for the rights, you're going to lose the rights.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think we're really close to having things like such as the army coming in? Because this looks really under policed at the minute.
This is going to go on for a while until they get what they want.
Have you ever seen anything like this in Middlesbrough? There's been many people turning out and.
Let's see what this geezer has to say.
Not be up here, down at the courts. That's what they need to do, man.
Me, guys, this is unbelievable.
I'm here, right? I threw my carer out. I have mental health problems.
Yeah.
From Nigeria. He's a refugee. Yeah. And he was bullying me in my own home. I had to get him out of my house. That was on Thursday. I have an adult social worker I had to phone. Have they got back to me about it? No, they haven't. The mental health team are the ones that were sorting it out. And that's what the country's like now. No jobs to no one.
But do you think we're painting everyone with the same brush who's maybe a migrant?
Yeah, there's a few people who've been a bit rowdy, but they're not even here now. Yeah. So, and they were only children. I see on a bike with 9-year-old or something, so a bridge hit a few windows. That's not what people are here for. They're here because they're upset about stuff. And they have a right to be upset, don't they? They're losing a national identity.
Jesus Christ, that guy just said if you're white, you can come through. Oh my days.
Yeah, so it's very hard to separate the two issues, isn't it? It's like, okay, there's poverty and there's economic problems, and we just want to change that. Meanwhile, hearing comments like that, if you're white, you can come through.
Bloody hell.
It's not a religious battle or racist battle, it's a government battle now.
Yeah, is this the people versus the government? What's the message then? And is this the best way to send the message to the government?
Sometimes violent ain't the answer, but like, now this is the only way they can actually change.
And so yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? There's been a lot of discussion about these themes for many years, and like, frankly, it hasn't actually had an impact, has it? I think I was reading something today that, you know, nearly every politician that has got into power in England has said they're going to slow immigration, and none of them have. So whether that's the basis for all the problems in England or not, I probably don't think it is, but it's a valid statement.
So
have some people come here for violence? So you two lads are covering your faces. I mean, a lot of people are covering their faces. Is that the reason why some people have come here today?
Some are doing violence, and some are just like, they don't want to get caught in association. Okay. So that's why I've got mine covered.
Right, okay, just for safety.
Yeah.
What do you think the view is around here of the local police in Cleveland? Because I've heard this is one of the most dangerous areas, and wow, people are pushing and shoving as we're talking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I often wonder what the actual solution is. You know, certainly here I've had conversations with Costa Rican friends of mine who've said that they just want all the digital nomads and all the immigration to stop. And, you know, I've heard some pretty strong suggestions on how to do that. And while I understand the sentiment, I also wonder, like, is that going to stop the economic problems? You know, is less immigrants coming here mean normal people are going to have more money? I don't think it's an instant response, react solution. I mean, part of the problem in this country is that actually minimum wage here is $3 an hour, right? So imagine that. People are earning $3 an hour, and that's pretty typical if you work in a cafe or a restaurant or, you know, out doing landscaping or whatever. Meanwhile, like, what, groceries here are insane. Sure, you can get fruit and veg for cheap, but, like, I don't know. A bottle of olive oil is like $20. So you're talking about, what's that? More than 6 hours of work? 3, 6, 9. Yeah, more than 6 hours of work for a bottle of olive oil. I mean, yeah, it's not realistic. It's not sustainable. You know, no wonder people are upset.
We don't start it, they start it. Like,
fuck you guys.
It starts with like free spirit.
Also, having said that, now is that an issue of is that an issue of immigration? The fact those things cost so much. I mean, here in this country, it's because importation. For example, a car here, like let's say a 2002 Xterra costs about 10 grand. Now, 100% of the value of the car is taken in taxes, and the government takes it, right? So, is that an impact of gentrification and immigration, or is that more of the same? You know, and I think that's a valid point with this whole story in England, is this double-sided story about how, oh, well, we don't have money to help anyone, but we got money for wars and bombs and everything else.
Smashed in a car who's... Oh my God.
What they were doing here, if you're not white, you can't go through.
Wow. Do you agree with that, or?
No comment.
Right.
No comment.
Guys, there's stuff getting thrown left, right and centre.
Yeah, I'll probably play this game. It looks really good. What do you reckon?
Harry, push forward then. Carl, don't...
Guys.
And in case you're not aware, like if you're in the States or whatever, that you can see a lot of English flags, right? And the English flag has sort of become synonymous with racism now, particularly when England is written on it, because the you know, the actual story is the words you'll hear a lot is British for the British, Britain for the British, England for the English. So yeah, it's definitely like it's kind of funny because nationality in England is so tied to this conversation around immigration and racism that it's almost like it's widely frowned upon to be nationalistically proud in England now.
What's the reason for the bin?
Yeah, because we're going to show straight into the...
For the police?
Yeah, light on fire shine.
Bloody hell, lads. What's the message of all this?
What's the message?
Like...
I'm not sure there is a message. It's just lads having a day out, isn't it? Hey, let's burn some bins, mate.
This is like... This is just to cause disruption now. I don't think like they're here to protest or anything, just people who want to ruin their city at the minute. Kept his distance.
So, I have watched this video before. I actually chatted to the guy today. But, yeah, you know, in the midst of all this stuff that's going on, he actually gets a call from his partner, and their partner's in the car, right? And they're smashing up the cars everyone's in. So he goes to suss it out.
I thought this was the back end of the protest, and we were soon well away from the car park. I later realised more people would show up. The young kid started to smash all the cars in the car park, but didn't smash mine because she was inside. I stopped a car in the road, and luckily this man rushed to drive me back. It would have taken me at least 10 minutes just to run there. I have no idea who you are, but thank you so much.
And yeah, fair play to him, Wesley, going out there and, you know, talking to people and seeing what's going on. It's certainly, like, for someone like me who's not there, it's interesting and helpful to see what's going on. And yeah, obviously you can see he's put himself in the thick of it, and he's even getting comments like he got off that other fella about, well, you're not British, are you? So yeah, it takes some balls to get out there, doesn't it?
Police eventually came, and when the kids heard the siren, they ran away. I'm not sure what would have happened if they didn't. Literally, I just came back, and luckily my car's okay.
You guys all okay?
I mean, I wonder how smashing windscreens of neighbours' cars solves immigration, personally.
People's cars getting smashed. There's literally a car on fire.
Just jumped on top of my car.
Guys, I just had to escape the maze.
I mean, there's also, I guess there's a history, right, of when message isn't being heard or politicians aren't responding to the wishes of the people, that there are uprisings. So I suppose you could talk about that.
As my car was literally about to get smashed up. And look, from where I literally started the video, there's a car on fire. This is fucking stupid, guys. This car's literally blowing up. Oh. I can literally feel the heat the closer I get to this car.
I feel like I'd also like to watch a video, you know, of one of the counter protests to see what's going on that side.
Look at all these cars.
Funny that I say on this side, and I mean that's the problem, isn't it? It's all the division. Whatever side you're on, be it like pro multiculturalism and diversity or like anti immigration, you're on a side, and ultimately what I'm observing is it doesn't really matter what side you're on, you're getting screwed.
Wow. It's sad to say, but this has really become racial. This isn't about politics or anything. This has just become an excuse for people to destroy the local community, similar to what we saw in the London riots. And I feel like this is just the beginning. I can imagine this happening all over England now.
I mean, yeah, I feel sad watching that. I do think it's inevitable if you keep squeezing people and you keep putting people in a situation where they can't live or survive, then there's going to be a response. Now, it's unfortunate that response is then put on all other nationalities and races. I mean, it's not right. And yet people are looking for someone to lash out to, right? They're looking at all this anger and, like, obviously feeling very disempowered with government, right? I mean, I mean, it's funny, right? They just got a new government in England. There's been years of austerity from the Tory party, right? And I certainly have seen a lot of my friends super excited about getting a Labour government. And look, it's how many weeks later since they got in? It unfortunately doesn't solve the core issues, does it?
Wow. Huh? You're like 10 years old, a fucking idiot.
I'm 13 and then around 30 people jumped on the car and the woman said, oh, that's
so yeah, that's his partner, which is just upsetting. So I'm probably just going to go past that because I'm feeling it.
I mean, Cleveland is a dangerous place, but have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, never seen that like this. It's horrific. We've done this and all. We've done yours and all. You've done yours?
But yeah, I mean, look, these are not even the people they're angry at, right? This is their neighbours. So in the same situation as them.
This was not a protest, it was an excuse for people to be antisocial, essentially, and you can clearly see what they've done.
I'm guessing you live here, this is your car?
It is, yeah.
How do you feel about all this? I mean, you're a local resident, I'm guessing, too?
Disgusted and devastated and embarrassed that I'm a Middlesbrough Council resident. I think the police should have done something way before now. They knew this was going to happen. It was advertised clearly enough, but they've clearly done nothing about it once again. Thank you anyway, I appreciate it.
No, it's fine, it's fine. Wow, this guy's car's literally been smashed to pieces. He literally lives here.
I mean, yeah, what can you say about that? Like, is that solving immigration? Is that solving, like, economic crisis and cost of living? I don't really see. I mean, the only way you can kind of justify that is by saying, well, we're trying to send a message to the government. But it's pretty hard to justify.
What about that guy?
Pretty hard to justify. Yeah, I kind of want to see some other videos as well, because like I said, this one particularly, I felt the Wesley Winters thing has been really a good one to watch. And I think in his earlier videos, he was kind of more in investigating why people are upset, right? Why are you angry? What's going on? But yeah, as time goes on, it becomes less and less possible to justify the reactions. And it's sort of a shame in the way, because it's like, if there's validity in what people are saying, this just discredits all of it, doesn't it? And I mean, it's the same. It's not just with this side of the political spectrum. I mean, it's been the same thing with very valid protests about the situation in Palestine. You know, it just goes to, well, they're just violent and rioting, instead of looking at the core issue.
The police have come from all angles now. Oh, this.
But yeah, I wonder, is it going to get better? And what is the actual solution? I mean, I sort of wonder if stopping all immigration is suddenly going to solve everything in England. I don't think it probably is. And yeah, there's a lot of what I hear a lot is, well, they're just lazy, aren't they? And they don't want to get jobs and whatever. But I think when you're like disenfranchised entirely with your life and your reality, and you're living in like socially, economically collapsing situations, it's sort of a bit hard to get motivated, isn't it? I'll go down the job centre, maybe I'll get a job with Mackie D's.
Do we need all foreigners out though, don't we? There was no foreigners in causing trouble.
Sort of funny that, right? If it wasn't for all the foreigners causing trouble, I don't see any foreigners in this particular thing where all these people are throwing bricks and stuff. But it's still all the fault of the foreigners.
Yeah, these guys really aren't here for the girls that are murdered. This is definitely like a racial thing now. Jesus Christ.
Merry old England. A lot of my mates who I know from around the world just think it's all crumpets and horse riding and polo. Oh, England. Yeah, it's lovely there, isn't it?
More police are coming in.
I mean, I left England a while ago. You know, I sort of saw all these sort of things. But, yeah, you know, to be honest, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. At the end of the day, this is a global situation. These scenes here are not unique, are they? They're definitely appearing around the world.
Someone's house.
And actually, weirdly, I feel like more than ever to go back to Europe. I don't know why. I just want to go back and be a journo. Be a journalist documenting the collapse of society. Is that fun?
What the hell are you doing? Bro, I'm leaving.
So yeah, look, these guys have just smashed somebody's door in. You know, again, I just wonder what's being achieved with this. I read somewhere that this was an Albanian immigrant's house. Like, okay, so is it their fault? What's happening? Is that their problem?
Why are you sticking up for the... You know, these are animals.
I mean, it's just years. It's years and years of this. I mean, if you look at like the tabloids, the national newspapers in England, for years it's been like, oh yeah, immigrants ate my hamster and immigrants got a mansion and this and that. I mean, it's no wonder people think like this, but it's pretty typical divide and conquer stuff, isn't it? It's like, all right, what's the government up to? No. Don't look at us, guys. Look at these immigrants. Yeah, over there. Yeah, they've... There's a guy over here who's a doctor and he's from another country. That's why you're poor. It's not to do with us.
Jesus Christ, guys, this is mental. The wood, man, I don't want to die for a video, bloody hell.
Fair enough.
This is absolutely crazy.
All right, let's have a look.
Police here, local residents getting their house smashed in. I mean, this is not the message that you want to be sending to the public. This is just racial, it's disgusting. Man,
okay, I want to have a look at some counter pros. Thanks, Wesley. Appreciate your work. Facing down society. All right, let's have a look. I haven't seen these, so who knows? There's always an angle on stuff in the media, isn't there? So yeah, this is the kind of the response. So yeah, there has been at least a week of sort of protests from working class English people, let's say, for want of a better term, against immigration. And so this is some of the response here, and I certainly know people who are attending these sort of things. Let's see if another one. There's a.
They are scenes that are now happening daily in towns and cities across the country. In Bristol, there were clashes as police tried to keep apart a group of far-right protesters and a much larger anti-fascist counter-protest. It felt unpredictable, confrontational and tense, as in so many places in the last few days. The police right in the middle of the disorder. In Hull city centre, another standoff between a large group of protesters and police. Some were filmed taking a piece of scaffolding, apparently to use as a missile, and what's become the soundtrack for many taking part in these protests.
We want our
This is what residents saw after tyres and bins were set alight. By the evening, there was just the sound of the alarms in shops that had been broken into. The street littered with the debris of a rampage through the city.
Sort of almost seems like it's not the immigrants doing all the damage. It seems like from watching them.
Streets of towns and cities across England were mobilised on Wednesday evening from Newcastle to Birmingham, Liverpool to Brighton, Sheffield to London. The marches have been launched. Information was spread online that the suspect in a fatal stabbing of 3 girls in Southport just over a week ago was a Muslim asylum seeker.
Apparently not, though.
The first prison sentences for violence.
So yeah, what I heard is that's not even true. So ironically, the whole basis for this whole thing is not even true. What did I hear? That it was, you know, a son of immigrants who moved to England, who was born in England, same as me.
Disorder have been handed down to rioters involved. The men, all from
I don't really want to watch the BBC, to be honest. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what's going on in London. I just looked up Bristol because that's where I used to live.
This is a...
Really? I don't know what Sky News either. Let's try this. I don't know if this is any better. But yeah, interestingly in this you can actually see there's also flying the Palestinian flags, because obviously that has been an ongoing point of contention. I've got some opinions on that I probably won't get into right now. But yeah, you can see in this, there's the flag saying strength in diversity. I think people are just like, normal people are very upset. And when I say normal people, I mean like people who have got all kinds of backgrounds, right? You can see in this, it's quite diverse. And they're facing like mad attacks. Let's have a look at this guy on the bus. Attacks Muslim driver. Like, is it the bus driver's fault? Like, is this the bus driver's fault? What's happening?
Brothers and sisters, I hope you're well. The United
come on, I just want the snippet of it. Here we go.
You Muslim terrorist bastard! You Muslim terrorist bastard! You Muslim bastard! You get up!
I mean, I don't know. How do you justify that? I mean, I may be wrong, but I probably think the bus driver is not a terrorist. He may be annoyed now, though, but yeah, it's probably not a terrorist.
You get off the bus, big man! You get off the bus! You get off the bus! You get off the bus! You get off the bus!
So yeah, whatever the basis of what's going on in England, this is like the what it's coming to. Yeah. I kind of wonder what's next, if I'm honest.
The whole street has been Muslims and all this kind of racial stuff that's going on. This has been absolutely disgusting, probably the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And yeah, I'm definitely never coming back here again. I feel so sorry for the local community to have to live here tomorrow. And what I want to try to do is make some sort of GoFundMe to help those people who've actually been affected here. I've seen people's windows getting smashed in, people walking into someone's house. I mean, and no one even tried to stop them. I feel ashamed, honestly. It's been disgusting. But yeah, I'll try make some sort of GoFundMe or, I don't know, do something, because it's just been unbelievable. I am speechless. But yeah, no, definitely guys, see you for the next one.
All right, yeah. So that's Wesley Winter, who, yeah, has been really getting in amongst it. I wonder if I was there, if I would be doing what he's doing. Probably not. Who knows? But yeah, anyway, there you go. There's my first react. I forgot to record from the start, though, didn't I? I should have recorded from the start to put it on the old YouTube. I wonder if I can download that. But yeah, thanks to all the people watching this. I want to know who's in chat. Who's in chat? But yeah, there's also a link in the chat there. I might try and like highlight this video so people can see what's going on. Hopefully I didn't say anything that's going to get me cancelled. Fingers crossed. It's a very difficult subject to talk about, isn't it, without offending somebody. So yeah, apologies if I slipped up.